Hey everybody, hope your day is going well. We are back with a reaction, a request by Deep Blue Hue. Thank you so much for the donation. I truly appreciate it. And, this song, of course, was on my list. I kept it on the back burner a little bit because I talked about, my personal experience relating to this topic. And, Ren. Amazing artist. Suicide is the song. I've listened to Freckled Angels right before this just to, get, into that, not mind space, but also just maybe he makes references or something. And, I've done the live version to that song. So let's check it out. I know this is going to be a heavy one, but very important. So, let's have a listen.
Through the cracks of the night sky, a light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Oh, treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. I'm so fucking lonely beneath this. Narcissistic, can't keep a secret. Miscount sheep, I can't sleep, a misfit. Some say trouble, but some say sadistic. Bruises my brother, one time or the other. My skin felt counterfeit, silicone rubber. Bruises my sister, skin pop the blister. Dig deep, resist the feeling when it hits you.
Hey, he's like having a different inflection on his voice too, which I like. It really fits this type of song. He said he miscounted the sheep. That's why he can't sleep. Counting sheep to sleep. But, if you miscount them, maybe you can't sleep. That's a great way of putting it, man. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, trouble sleeping. That's something I've been dealing with as well, for, man, I can't even remember how long, probably my whole life, but... And that is not good. Yeah, man, I can feel that, definitely, when you're thinking about this kind of stuff, especially with his friend passing. Yeah, come on, man. Love the visuals too, man. It's really an eerie feeling you get looking at it. I see a world rapidly changing, and it's hard to deal with that sometimes. In the video, you see the buildings. Nowadays it's tough. It's tough to keep up sometimes.
One time or the other, my skin felt counterfeit. Silicone rubber, bruises my sister, skin pop the blister. Dig deep, resist the feeling when it hits you. Falling through the cracks of the night sky. A light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Sick boy, bitten by a tech boy.
Did he use that line in the song Sick Boy or somewhere on his album? And of course he suffered from Lyme disease, which is spread by ticks. And I know that was a whole, spiral. So, with mental health and doctors misdiagnosing him. And man, that's heartbreaking, dude. That's heartbreaking. I heard him talk about it a little bit in interviews. And I know he's doing something right now on his channel too that I'm going to be checking out. Probably on my own. Yeah, man. Definitely many relatable subjects in this. Fall into the cracks of the, the starry scar of the dark night. Dang. Yeah.
Sick boy, bitten by a tech boy. I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. I'm so fucking looking washed up and seasick. Masochistic kid with a split lip. 6 feet deep, I can't eat, I'm nervous. Won't stay down cause my body purges. Useless my mother, can't keep in my supper. Skin so pale cause my cheeks leak colour. Truth is my father, you choose your karma. Draw for the sword, then drive through the armor.
You know, like he's like referencing an eating disorder, but I know he also, you know, can't almost, you know, eat anything, right? He did an elimination diet, you know, just to see what, I don't know if that's what he's referencing or just a general, you know, like a food disorder, an eating disorder. But I know his diet is also, you know, consisting of not that many variety, just because, you know, it increases symptoms. Yeah, that's tough, man. Because you'd be confronted with this stuff every day, you know. Yeah, that's a tough one. I hope he can work his way back into it slowly. He said they're trying, but if it's something that doesn't help or worsens the symptoms, then of course he's out for a while and he can't focus on his music. So maybe for now he's just sticking to the things that work, so he's not suddenly counted out because he wants to, you know, progress in life and his career. Well, yeah, damn.
Mother, can't keep in my supper. Skin so pale cause my cheeks leak colour. Truth is my father, you choose your karma. Draw for the sword, then drive through the armor. Oh, I, falling through the cracks of the night sky. A light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Oh, I, treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. 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 It's hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Your stomach burns when you're drinking from an empty cup. You know the entire ocean came from my tear ducts. I see the world through Fibonacci sequences and double Dutch.
Fibonacci sequence of double Dutch. Double Dutch, I think it's a term used for many things. I just know the jump rope. What is it, a technique or game? Fibonacci sequence. Every number is like 1 + 1 is 2, 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 5 is 8, you know, that sequence. It's like building on the previous numbers, which, you know, in life, I guess we do the same thing, right? We build on whatever we have done before. Mistakes, successes, and we go from there. It's hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Yeah, not everybody is lucky, man. You know, sometimes you got to be lucky in life too, depending where you are born, who your parents are, whatever, man. You know, and some people are already dealt a bad hand in life, and it's not easy to take off. You know, it shouldn't be an excuse, but we got to be honest. You know, just depending on the location where you're born, sometimes you're privileged just because you have more opportunities, or, you know, whether you come from money or not, or whatever it may be. You know, we can talk about many different examples where we have certain advantages in life or certain disadvantages. Health is one of them too. One we take for granted most often, because if we don't have it suddenly anymore, then suddenly we realize, oh damn, I was privileged to have good health. Yeah, he always comes with great perspectives. That's what I enjoy about Ren. A little bit of a similar thinker to, you know, what I have, and so that's why I vibe with it so much. Yeah, man. Yeah. Smart man. Smart dude.
hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Your stomach burns when you're drinking from an empty cup. You know the entire ocean came from my tear ducts. I see the world through Fibonacci sequences and double Dutch. I guess there's some that's born lucky, there's some that's not. I tried to cut away my bit.
Sorry. I just said that. I didn't even realize that was going to be the next line. So if people, you know, come on. I said it, we were similar thinkers. Dang, okay. Now I'm going to stroke my ego a little bit too much. But also there about, you know, the oceans being filled by his tear ducts. I could feel that, you know, and sometimes you get the comment, you know, like, hey, man, how are you not human because you're not crying? Dude, Rand said it right there, man. I've done my crying. I've done it. Yeah, man, I feel like it's, you know, and sometimes it still happens, but, you know, I feel like I've done my share of raising sea levels. Especially when it comes to this topic. I talked about this already in some other videos when this came up. It's just, yeah. Some subject that I've been dealing with all my life, not only in my own thoughts, but in my own family and with my friends. You know, when you have to think about how many people you lost to this particular word that I don't really like saying anymore. When you have to think about it, really sit down, almost have a piece of paper or count on your fingers, not even having enough fingers, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. It's like asking how many which movies have you seen in your life? You're going to have to think about it. You're going to have to think about it. And you might forget one. That's how. I'm not even exaggerating. It's crazy.
Double Dutch. I guess there's some that's born lucky, there's some that's not. I tried to cut away my bitterness. Hatchet job. I locked my youth inside a trunk, inside a pickup truck, then dumped the whole thing over that same bridge the night you jumped. I think about that sometimes, vividly. What it felt like to look down and see tranquility. One sudden movement in a world of possibility. Only one movement to expose our fragility. I fucking miss you, and I miss myself. I miss thinking we were indestructible as well. I miss chilling by the pier cave and kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Sega, Justin, Stevie and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. The distance is my plaster cast. The truth is that the day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find that anger. All I find is missing you, man.
You know, and that's, I've said this many times, and I'm not the only one who said it. And in other videos, when he said, you know, when you jump, my childhood jumped, man. Because, you know, you're not only changing your own life, your own final destination that you're, you know, meeting, you're changing other lives too. And you're not getting rid of the pain. You're just moving it to other people. And I wonder if some of the people, you know, and then I'm thinking of my own people that I lost, if they would have gotten that insight before, would they have changed it? And that's what he's doing now too, you know, like the what ifs, what if I, you know, and yeah, you know, he talked about chilling by the cave, you know, those times. He said that in, I think in Freckled Angels, because I just listened to it about the pier cave, and you think you have that ride or die mentality amongst friends, but most of the time it's when it's going good, and then you have that ride or die mentality. When something goes bad, we don't really talk about it, especially young dudes, young men. We don't talk about it, and that's what happens. You put on this facade and for as long as you can till you can't anymore, and then you start to go down this dark rabbit hole, and suddenly there's a decision there to be made, or you think that's the only outcome and everybody's going to be better off without you. But we're really not. We're really not. Yeah, it's a complicated issue, and, you know, it's not going away soon. It's going the opposite direction, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Sega, Justin, Stevie and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. The distance is my plaster cast. The truth is that the day you jump, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find that anger. All I find is missing you, man, I miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine. Not the way that it worked, cause I was late like a jerk. There's not a day where I could find. Yeah, that's like survivor's guilt right there, you know? And of course you picture that, of course. That's human. You think about, oh man, there's so many occasions, you know, in my life, you could probably picture something similar. It doesn't even have to be this extreme, like where you would have opened your door 5 minutes earlier and left, or later that maybe something could have happened. You know, maybe you come at a stop sign and somebody speeds and you say, oh man, if I didn't stop there, I might have been hit. You know, all these kinds of coulda, woulda, shoulda, if. And if you're playing that game, man, that's a world of hurt, because it's just not possible. And believe me, I've played it many times and I play it still. It's human nature to do so. But if you catch yourself doing it, please stop it if you can. You know, once you, like now I'm in that spiral of thinking that is not helpful, not productive. Because we cannot change it. We cannot change the past. We cannot, you know, it's impossible. But I know it's human. You can see it happening. You can see it happening, running faster, pulling him over the edge, hugging him and saying, why, you stupid asshole? Yeah, and I gotta be this brute. But then you can cry and laugh and go home. But that's not what happened. That is not what happened. I feel that. I feel that. Beautiful delivery, man, of this sort of you know, and there he, you know, he changed up the dynamic in the way he performing it, a little bit more spoken word, and really painting that picture, yo, letting it all out. Wow. On time, I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine. Not the way that it worked, cause I was late like a jerk. There's not a day where I could find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hers. I hope you're listening, I love you, man, I miss you absurd. Fuck. Hey, that was another powerful, you know, song by Ren, as he has many. And of course, like I said in the other one, songs sometimes that shouldn't exist, but they exist because this happened. He didn't pull him over the edge, and it's not his fault of being late, or, like I said, that's a dangerous game to play. And of course, it is human, and you get that survivor's guilt. And what if maybe I could have said this, maybe I could have run a little bit faster. 100,000 million, a trillion possibilities that you could go over, but that doesn't change the outcome. And it's heartbreaking, man. And yeah, he said it, man. That changed his life forever. His path, his art, even his art. Like I said, or else this song wouldn't exist. Which is always a double conflicting feeling, right? Because it's a great art, but the reason we have it is because of a great loss of Joe. And, you know, it represents all the people that we lose to this thing, man. Yeah, great song. I really admire Ren of being able to put it into words and into his art and bringing awareness to this topic, because I do believe it can help many people. Just
getting people to talk about this because, you know, death is something we just are not comfortable with. It's part of life. We all know it's coming. But then this, when young people take their own lives, is something we can't even almost fathom that happening. If you have friends, you know, I have a daughter, you know, that's one of my worst fears, because I know I struggle with mental health, addiction, and, you know, you're scared that you're going to pass that on to your child. And we have to be here to guide them, to make sure that we talk, that we communicate, that there's a safe space to do so. Because when something goes bad, they can come to somebody and talk about it instead of trying to deal with it on their own. And when you have a young mind that is not fully developed yet, they cannot look past certain issues. That's why we need to be here for them, man. But yeah, you cannot always be there 24/7 either. That's the heartbreaking thing about it. I understand. Yeah, man, great song. And, you know, I could talk about it much more. That's what it does. It opens up discussion. That's why I said I admire Ren for it. Thank you, Ren, for doing this, because I know that is not easy. That's one of the hardest things, man. So, yeah, I applaud him. And thank you for requesting it and for being here and listening. And I appreciate all of you, really. Yeah, man. Just take it one day at a time. Stay safe. Take care. Reach out if you need it. You know, there's people that will listen. I know that. There's many good people out there. So shout out to you too. Peace.